We are the salt and light, but the light is lit.
Come and catch a wave, open phone, press play. We'll help you feel good about yourself. Let us take the weight off your shoulders for a day. A little laughter, man, it's good for your health. Yeah, baby, we the salt, and we lit. We talk about it all, we do it here every Saturday. Yeah, they cringe, yeah, we talk about it. Let's talk about it all. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Welcome back to the Salt and Lit podcast, where we are preserving authenticity, bringing flavor, and igniting light in the world. Welcome back. My name is Kristen. I'm here with my beautiful co-host and sister.
Hey everyone. We have two very special guests today. Everybody welcome Michelle and Barack Obama. They don't think that's funny?
I fail to find the humor in that.
Bishop and First Lady.
Woo, okay.
Is this how y'all behave every time?
Daddy, you want me to listen to our episodes?
Of course I do.
Wow, he
course
just
I
admitted
do.
that he don't listen to our episodes. Anyway, welcome to our beautiful parents, Neesha and Wesley Stringfellow. We are so excited that you guys are here. And we really just wanted to, we said a lot of things last season, and we just kind of want to get y'all take, so get ready to get honest.
Okay.
All right?
No problem.
All right, so,
Just remember, you're ministers of the gospel.
So we can't cuss like y'all?
wow! You mean cuss like Kristen?
Okay.
So no cussing in 2021.
I haven't said one cuss word yet in 2021. All right, look at the Lord.
What's the date?
Kristen, I need to recall last week.
That was last week. That wasn't this year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're right. There, you said 2021. You're right. Anyway,
Daddy, why don't you go ahead? We want y'all to introduce yourselves. So, Daddy, introduce yourself first, then Mommy. Untie your lips, Daddy.
I am Wesley, the father of Javon, Kristen, Yelly, and Nia.
I am Neesha, the mother of Javon, Kristen, Danielle, and Nia.
We are the parents.
That's it.
What do you
And the
want?
grandparents.
You want a resume?
Just say a little bit about yourself.
what
That's
did you
all
trying to
you-
be modest for? Like, what
All
y'all?
right, so what do we do? What do you do, babe? Tell us what you do. You do a lot.
Name every hat.
Oh my goodness. Let's go.
Do we got time?
Okay, my name is Neesha, and
And period. That's it. My
Yes.
name is Neesha.
well, you all gave me that title. My name is Neesha, and I'm very grateful to be a wife, devoted wife, and can honestly say that for 32 years. I am grateful to be a bonus mom to Javon and his beautiful wife, Kaylani, and our beautiful 2 grandchildren and 1 on the way, and my 3 daughters, Kristen, Danielle, and Nia, and my son, Terrence, and my 2 other grandchildren, Case and
My
Tula.
list don't got nothing to do with you.
And but it speaks to who I am and really what I'm about and why I do what I do is because of you guys. So the truth is that I could be Neesha's network, I could be a hairstylist, I could be a minister of the gospel, I could speak to the masses, but one of the scriptures I stand on is, what is the profit of man to gain the whole world, lose his own soul? And God has always shown me that losing my own soul is how I live before me, is like my mother lived for us, that my children may walk before the Lord and be major serial entrepreneurs. And I'm just grateful to say that I wear these hats and you all are just following right in line. So that's who I am.
Daddy, you want to
Wow,
follow up on that? Because that kind of made your intro look a little.
What are you trying to say? I got some business.
Okay, come on,
So,
business.
All right. So about me, let's see. Electrician by trade. Started working for a major transportation company in Chicago. You guys can figure out what the name of that is. I was fixing the trains. Did that for some years, went into management, which I am still there. Been there 31 years, looking to retire within the next couple of years. On to chapter 2. I'm also director of Heart Life Ministries, where we do all kinds of family stuff in Heart Life, mainly marriage stuff. We host a retreat. We've been doing that for the past 21 years. We also counsel couple and coach marriages and whatever else is needed. And that's what I do. Is that good enough?
Wait, what about DJ Wes?
Oh, you
That's just fun
see, you be
stuff.
trying to be modest.
I haven't made 10-cent DJing.
No,
Can you be a
That's
DJ?
not true.
No, but I like to DJ, so we mess around. Me and my crew, we call ourselves the basement DJs, but we just get in the basement and play some music for our own pleasure.
Okay. Y'all, when we was little, Daddy used to play house music on them little mini CDs.
Mini discs.
That's what they call it?
Sony mini discs.
And so me and
Best thing
Kristen been house heads since 1991. Okay.
We didn't even know what that was.
We used to just dance our little lives away.
That's right. House heads by default.
Yeah. So let's get into the nitty gritty. First we're gonna start off light, and then we're gonna get into some more funner stuff. Okay. So let's just start off by just describe us as children. Like, how would you describe each and one of your children? Kristen, is that the question? Because I'm kind of not saying it good.
Well, compare us from when we were little, how we grew up to now. Like, what things stuck? Like, our
Personalities.
our personalities the same, different? What? Let's go
You
child
know
by
what?
child.
Actually, now that you asked that, the same way all of you were when you were little is exactly how you act right to this day. I don't think very much has changed.
Examples. Give examples.
All right, so let's start from the top with Javon. Javon has always been a little bit on the edge side. He's a boy, so he did boy stuff. Ran around, a lot of energy. And as a grown man, he still runs around with a lot of energy.
Yes, he does.
Then we go to Chris, who is, I would call her the boss. She still tries to boss everybody around, and once in a while, when she gets a little proper voice on.
I had that proper voice.
She used to talk very proper with your dials. I remember. But then there was Danielle, the experimenter, when she was 16. Can I tell the story?
Go ahead, Dad.
Were you even 16? I don't know.
What?
When you put that light up.
Oh, I was like 12.
Dad, we told that story last season.
See,
She was 9. First of all, she wasn't 12.
No, we was at
the
the. We was in Olympia Fields. I was like 12.
But that's just, since everybody heard the story, but they didn't, so I'll tell it anyway. So I had a light that I was going to put up in the bathroom, and I left it in the bathroom and went to do something else. Went away for the day or something,
Vacation.
Came back, and the light was up. I was like, how do you even know how to put a light up? And that light worked until we moved out of that house.
I honestly don't know how I knew how to do it.
You did.
But Daddy, I used to watch you do stuff and ask questions.
You did.
You showed me, but I don't. And then, Mommy, you was kind of upset that I did that. You was like, you could have electrocuted yourself.
We said, that's what we said. You could have electrocuted
I was
yourself.
like, I turned the light switch off.
And
I
that's
know
what she
I'm doing.
said. I turned the light switch off. I said, oh, okay. You good. And then there's Nia, our beautiful dancer who refused to dance.
See
when
how
she was
Nia got
little.
beautiful
Nia got-
dance?
I think you're beautiful enough.
No, we're not going to start this today. We're not going to
Said my
start this
beautiful-
today.
Folks, you heard it here first.
He could say my
Nia's the
beautiful
favorite.
experimenter, my beautiful brilliance. He said my beautiful. Okay.
Niche,
What?
help me out.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And
She can't help you.
she's always been.
She knows the truth. That's what he
She's
is. Got a
always been
grin
the
and
stubborn
bear.
one, and to this day she still is. So you guys haven't changed much.
Yeah.
I ditto that.
Who was the favorite?
Everybody.
There's no such thing as a favorite.
And we've always said that. Nobody is. the
Nia.
favorite. Most babies get away with
Right,
murder.
She's not the favorite. She's just a baby.
And most babies will get away with the murder. You would never let us talk to you like that. We would have got a slap down.
Even though that one time
Yeah.
she did
caught a
get
case.
Got pinch up on the wall.
mommy flew from point A to point Z and
I will not forget that.
0 to 60
Stop showing your bottom
3.5.
teeth there, Nisha. Remember that.
Well, every now and then the gorilla will come out.
I mean, I think we all got one whooping that we remember.
And every child needs one day remember.
Oh.
Every
I
child.
have about 3 actually.
Daddy
that I
karate
remember.
kicked me one time.
And you flew across the floor. So
Why would you tell people that?
Daddy,
That's
you,
the facts.
Daddy,
Because I
you
talk
love-
smart to mommy. I talk smart to mommy. Daddy karate kicked me, and then mommy came in there to comfort me, and I said, "Why would you let him kick me?"
That's because he didn't really get whoopings. He just
Karate kick.
so you didn't know how to whoop.
He
I did.
had us watching all them Bruce Lee movies. He like, okay, I'm gonna show you.
Daddy was like, now is my time.
His matrix leg went up and his feet floated in the air.
I'm getting off this show. I'm about to take my headphones off right now. They're not gonna persecute me.
Daddy, we got stories on stories about you, brother.
Mommy ain't innocent. One time she pinched my skin off my arm.
First of all, mommy used to pinch us at church until she finished her sentence. Mom, I got you the first 5 seconds. Like, and then we used to sneeze and she used to be like, pinching under our arm.
that is very true.
explain. I need to hear this.
What do you need to hear?
I really don't like
Look.
pinches, but pinches will get to the right under the arm. Pinches get the message across because you hold it and it kind of sends you into a state of shock where you can't move. It paralyzes you, and that happened to
That's
me.
right.
It always got the point across. I hate pinches to this day, but it worked for you all.
And y'all could be on the other side of the room. Your mom would pinch her fingers together like that. Y'all straighten up.
All she had to do was pinch her lips, and we knew a pinch was coming. The official Black Mama lips.
Y'all weren't gonna embarrass me intentionally.
Ooh. Anyway, that's really hilarious.
So, do you have any other stories besides child abuse? You want to talk about today?
What else is on our agenda? That's all we have. This is we getting an apology. Anyway, so let's just really talk about. I know y'all became parents kind of young, so how would you describe that experience? I know we talked about it like on I think it was like episode 4, season 1, how you guys became parents so young, and it kind of shaped us and how we thought dating was supposed to be. But tell me about your experience.
Yeah, just tell your story.
And how
a
old
little
were
bit.
you?
Tell your story.
So, I'll say this. At the age of, how old am I, babe? 52? And mommy being 51 right now, she just made it. She's just a baby. It is awesome. Because all of y'all have moved out of the house. We can now enjoy our lives.
What?
Drive
You
a
can
little-
enjoy your life.
drive
Now
the
you
little
can enjoy
cars
your life.
around,
I know
take
y'all
some
miss.
vacations.
I know y'all miss telling us to go get you some water.
Yeah, you turning the channel, finding a remote control.
That's sitting right next to you.
Exactly.
Well, one thing that I could say is looking back at being so young, everything does seem like a blur, but I remember distinctly wanting to raise you all a certain way. I didn't want you to have to experience what I experienced growing up. Not that my childhood was horrible, but it was very strict. And even though I was strict, but I wanted to have laughter and fun. And I feel like Marion, your dad, brought that element, because I don't know that I would have had that if he had not been the person in my life.
If he had not been your baby daddy.
Yeah, if he had not been my baby daddy. And so the truth is that he didn't think so deeply. He was like, let's have a good time. And I think that marrying him, knowing that on Friday nights he'd be laying on the floor. Every Friday night I didn't understand it, and he turned the radio on to WKKC and listened to house music. And I was like, wow, he is really into his stuff, But it just brought a lighter side of things. And having grown up in a very strict, legalistic church background, which I'm very grateful for the foundation, but it was balance. And so I wanted you guys to experience balance on every level. And sometimes to a fault, but I remember just wanting your hair to be combed, not because I was a hairstylist. I just didn't want you to be grimy. I wanted you to be respectful to other people, adults. I know you all hated that, but like, even to you all being in your late 20s and 30s now, you like, did y'all speak to so-and-so?
Mhm.
Y'all would get so many like, Mom, we're grown now. We know how to speak to people.
Right.
We're not
To this
crazy.
day.
But just wanting you to honor God and honor people and just love people. So I think everything went in fast forward. I think if I had to do anything differently, I probably would have slowed down a little bit when Nia was born, because went through a lot when I was pregnant with her, as well as after that. So I think she was that kid. I think I cooked a lot more when you all were like coming up, and when she was early born. But Nia was that kid that wanted to sit at the table with every fork in place, and and she wanted us to sit down as a family. And I think that life was moving so fast during that time, and we were really engaged in a certain church and different things, that we didn't take time to really embrace the real genuineness of family, even though it didn't stop us from having a good time. But it just was, those are the things that I probably would do differently. And I think that, I hope you all gleaned from that the importance of just slowing down and smell the roses.
What were some early on challenges, like early from the time you got pregnant to the time you got married? Like, what were some early on challenges, whether it be with each other, whether it be from family?
Financially challenged. That sums it up right there. And here's what I tell couples. I said, if you have your kids when you're young, you will probably struggle a little more financially, trying to get stuff together and trying to save money for school, buy that first house. It's a struggle, but you get to enjoy the later part of your life. Like, we are now in our early 50s, getting ready to live life.
Wow.
Not that we couldn't wait till you guys got out of the house, but
You couldn't.
couldn't wait till y'all got out of the house.
So rude.
But that's a good thing. The other advantage to that, and every couple has got to figure out their own. If you wait a little while, you can get a little bit more financially stable, which allows you to save up for college and provide and give your kids a whole lot more and more opportunities. I think even Disney World, I don't think you guys even went to. Were you in high school?
Mm-hmm. It was in
Which
high
was-
school. We had
was-
the time of our life.
Yes, we did.
Which was a long time, and I was like, wow, I wish I could have done this when they were younger.
We didn't care.
Didn't have the money. I cared, because I knew they would be experiences that you guys would enjoy. But it is what it is. You guys didn't get to go to Princess Land or whatever the name of that castle is when y'all were 5 and
but
6.
you know what, Jay? I don't think I ever was like, ooh, I just want to go to Disney World so bad. Like, I feel like our life was pretty full as children. Like, we was always doing something. May not have been Disney World, but we
went to Vegas.
and we used to go out to eat like 2 times a week. Don't think I forgot about that.
Well, that's something we probably would not recommend.
That was a highlight of my life.
It was probably a little more than that, but yeah.
Well, that's because our lives were so busy and we were on the go all the time. And your dad worked a whole lot, and I worked a whole lot. But challenges for me was in the beginning, being married young. First of all, Javon was very young. He was 2. And then also just blended family. I realized that a lot of people have been asking us about blended families lately. But that was tough because we wanted to show him the same amount of love that, family fast forward, 18 and 20, here we go. Just a full made family. Not to mention all my entourage of siblings who came with the package. And we just embraced it all as much as we could. And so there were challenges, ups and downs, but in terms of it all, Wes chose me and your dad. And just knowing that we made a decision early on to choose each other and to also work together, and we can make it through anything because we liked each other and we loved each other. And that, for me, spoke volumes for the duration of our marriage, that we could get through anything because we're friends. And I was going to always have his back, and I always did have his back, and he has always had mine. So I think that that's the bonus in our relationship. And so even though 18 and 20 people said we wouldn't make it, I'm kind of competitive, so I was kind of like, oh, the joke's on you, kid.
Joke's on you, heifer.
You can say heifer on him, mommy. You can say heifer
The
on
joke's
him.
on you, heifer.
Why would you make your mom say that?
So yeah.
Oh,
and I'm very grateful.
Okay, so I agree with that. I feel like watching y'all sent us into fairy tale land, thinking that that's how life is gonna be for us. Would you agree, Ellie?
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. I mean, even to this day, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be 50 with a kindergartner. Like, to this day, because of y'all, like the same way Daddy over here bragging, like, I'm an empty nester. Like, I'm be like,
But millennials in general, they just get married later and have kids later. But anyway, not to belabor on that, I do want to know, we brought y'all on here to for y'all to fire back, really. Now, this is the true test if you've been listening to the Salt and Lit podcast. Have you been listening? Okay, so overall, what do y'all think? What do y'all think about this?
First of all, and I could be really biased, but I think my kids, every last one of them, is hilarious.
We are.
I'm glad you think you're funny.
Well, I think it's funny. I think it's enjoyable, and I am biased because I want the whole world to hear you. I want it to be like a nationwide airway podcast.
Mommy
moves
played,
into a television
Mommy played
show.
us at the salon.
You know, I did. I played y'all at the salon. I think y'all are hilarious. People that know you find it very interesting that you're so transparent, even as us being your parents. Because some of the stuff y'all have said has been tough. And then hearing,
Examples.
you know, those flipping words every now and then, you know, a few swear words and this, that, and the other. But one thing that I do appreciate is y'all bring it all the way back home to being the light. And that's the part that I love. That's that balance I'm talking about. Have a good time. Be naked and transparent. Y'all have had some transparent stories to everything, to friendships, to I could just go on and on. Sisterhood, tough relationships, best friends.
Do you think that you were shocked by anything we said? Did you know all that stuff already, or were you shocked?
No, I was not shocked. No, I was not shocked because pretty much I think that we've had to live through some tough times, and eventually the experimental Yelly or the bold mouth Kristen or the, you know, Nia, who she is, stubborn, ignoring Nia, that's a good one. I think that all of that stuff came out, and you all were just, I think the Salt and Lit podcast shares what you're learning, but what you have learned. And I think that being so naked and transparent is what brings people to speak in truth. Like you said, authenticity. There's a lot of people that hide behind their stories, and being Christians, that's very hidden, but you know, healing from the shame of the different things that you've had to experience, but rejoicing and knowing that there's more to come, and fighting those battles together, you know, and not saying you're alone. A lot of people don't have people. They don't have, say, their friends with their sisters, or, you know, sharing the true story. So it was tough to hear some of the stuff, you know, but I think that I've taken y'all to counseling with me. Y'all be like, would y'all go to counseling with me? And it's really for both of us, you know. So just wanting to be the best that we could be through relationships.
Do you have examples? It's okay if you don't, but do you have examples of like things that we talked about that was tough to hear? You said that twice now.
Oh, well, I mean, I think, of course, you know, admitting that not being a virgin. I think that virgin episode, or I thought I'd be married by now, that episode, you know, wanting that for you guys. Not so much to do it the way me and Wes, your dad, did it, but doing it God's way. And I think that, to me, it still can be done. I just think that everybody's journey is different. So I think that was I just wanted to make sure the message was clear, and I don't know if it was or not to people, but I felt like you said we went our own way, but I think the continuance of Salt and Lit is that our destiny is to do it God's way.
Yeah. Well, that's one question I wanted to ask you, Daddy. I know Mommy has expressed this before, and just for the record, y'all did everything y'all were supposed to do. I don't think there was anything wrong or whatever that y'all did. But Daddy, was there ever a time where you felt you could have did more to prevent like our mistakes? Like just felt that way, not that I thought you could have did anything differently?
You know, no. And I say that because
It was perfect.
I say that because we did warn you, we did tell you, we did chastise you.
This is true.
And basically you're gonna choose your own path and make your own decisions. I mean, I can't hold your hand the entire time, when you guys were coming up.
Yeah.
That's just not going to happen. Could I have called you more, been more involved, had more conversations? I don't know, maybe. Is that something that I really do? Probably not. I kind of deal with you guys when I have to. We enjoy ourselves. But I'm not the dad. Even when you guys went away to college, I wasn't the dad to call you every week and be like, hey, what are you doing? I'm checking on you. What are you doing? You know,
Yeah, but you were the dad to drive an hour and a half if I was on a flat tire two hours away. Yeah. So.
Or move my apartment 1,000 times, even though you said you wasn't going to every time.
I know. Didn't I just move a couch?
You did just move a couch.
I'm too old for that.
See you in a year.
Right. So I'm always there for you guys. I'm just not the one to be like your mom. She will check on you guys all the time. Call you up. You know.
Nag, annoy.
I wouldn't say that. Sometimes
They
you just
would
kind
say
of
it.
call to check on them.
I wouldn't say it.
You know, she's more the one to voice her opinion about the way you're doing something, and I'm more of the one to I'm gonna let you figure it out and kind of make
I beg
that
to
work
differ
yourself.
that.
You beg to differ.
You
Okay,
voice your
why do you do
opinion quite often.
No,
It's just
Sometimes you voice it
it's
to
just-
mom and
you
then
don't-
mommy tell us.
you don't hear half my opinions. A lot of times I just kind of sit back and watch, and I say, well, if they ask, then I will tell you.
your
from A to
eyes
Z.
Tell us your opinion.
But I don't always volunteer my opinions.
Well, you know, when people ask me or I talk about you, that's what I always say. I'm like, my daddy not gonna say much, but when he say something, is he gonna say something? Like, and it's gonna be meaningful. And honestly, I appreciate that type of personality instead of just talking like I just be doing.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of fluffy words. That's
Me
just not
either,
me.
Dad.
Actually, yeah, I think that Kristen, well, not I think, I know Kristen is just like daddy in a lot of ways, and I'm just like mommy in a lot of ways. And in a lot of ways, we're all like daddy.
See, this is why I take offense. Now I'm offended. And I tell you this
What's wrong with me?
because every time you guys do something bad or you let a cuss word slip out, it's daddy and daddy's side of the family. But anything angelic is from the mommy side.
Daddy, you
I didn't
know
say.
it's
I
the
told
truth.
them mommy was a savage. Savage. Cousin, move you ratchet. It's true.
But it's still true what I said. Because anytime y'all in the pocket, your mama say, "You're just like your daddy. Stubborn,
That is
just like your daddy is."
That is
this."
true.
So,
But one thing.
what did you get good from? I'm sorry, babe.
I
What
got
you did?
good.
Tell me the
I'm
good
very
stuff.
innovative because of you, Dad. Like, y'all say that on this episode?
He ain't listen.
Oh, he don't never
I
listen
did
to us.
listen.
Well, I said I'm like you because I like to figure stuff out. I'm a troubleshooter. I put light fixtures up, like, and I think about things, like, and I like things in order. I like things to be a certain way before putting it out there.
I think that the thing you all got from him that's good is that you're all processors. You're not just dive into things. You think it through. And that now Yelly is probably the least like that, but at the same time, every last one of you all are contemplators, because if that wasn't the case, you could think on your feet and you wouldn't have shut me down or shut me out growing up. You know, all you all gave me the silent treatment if I had anything to say about trying to
That's just
enhance.
because you was right in telling us about ourselves, girl. That ain't how we wasn't contemplating. We was treated.
All right, that's all. Can we be salty for a minute?
I know your dad used to
No,
say
your
that.
mama never allowed y'all.
She never was.
She was that parent that would whoop you and then say, "Now
Well,
smile."
We just feel stupid.
Hey, you
That's
did
it.
too. When you would whoop us, you would just go take us for ice cream after.
Yeah, but I didn't make you feel any kind of way. I don't make y'all feel like I don't care how y'all feel. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and then we can move on with life. You know, that's kind of the way
Daddy.
my whole family is.
Actually,
doing
neither
it.
one of y'all in y'all own ways didn't allow us to be salty. Daddy would just, what y'all want to eat? It's a pizza.
That's because we vowed never to go to bed mad, so we wanted peace in the home, and that's why I always went above and beyond trying to make sure you guys were okay. Like, we were okay. We weren't holding grudges or anger. I'm learning, as you all are well into adulthood, that, you know, it's okay for you all to have a few days to rethink some things, and I have to be okay with that. It's tormenting for somebody who's a responder, but I have to be okay if you don't answer the phone. I have to be okay when you get salty because I don't answer the phone in 5 seconds, but you
That's
never
correct.
answer the phone for
That is
me.
correct.
I have to be okay with
Shots.
this, and I
Shots
have to
fired.
move forward. fire
shots.
back. That's a fire back right there.
And I don't really care.
You do.
I don't. I do not. If they're mad, they'll get over it in a little while. They'll come around. Have you ever not? You're here now. So what?
Wow. Anyway, thank you for sharing that. So just to kind of round everything out, what is some advice that you would give to, I'll just say both, to parents who have teenagers or even like parents of
like grown kids.
Yeah, Gen X parents of like millennial kids. Like, what is some advice that you would give?
I think that your Auntie Shauna talked about this book, and I don't know who it's by, so everybody can look it up, is Get Out of Their Heads and Into Their Hearts. And I think for me, more than anything, really see the heart of what your child has and what they're trying to say without saying a word, what their giftings are without saying a word. Be a part of their life and not just let them run to the cell phone and be in the phone all day. What's going on? How are you interacting? How are you staying relevant and present in their life? And I know a lot of parents say you shouldn't be your children's friend, but I think that there should be a safe place where children can't come and tell you. Now, that wasn't the case with you guys all the time. I feel like eventually y'all came and told on yourself eventually, whether it was the same week or whether it was 5 years from the time of whatever happened. You eventually came to the truth. So, pray with your children, talk to them, and be transparent about, I remember you told that episode, I remember that, about telling everything from A to Z. Be naked about who you are and the mistakes you've made. Because if your kids feel like, you just this perfect person, that people can't live up to that. So I feel like that's how parents, children learn to be more receptive to what they're dealing with in that communication. So that would be me. And one more thing, I got you all that journal, and I still stand by that. And what's so amazing is many of my friends did the same thing. And it didn't matter if you responded; it may have responded for a little while or not. But every child has a unique gift. Every child has their favorite color. Be intentional about paying attention to what matters to your children, teenagers, and even the young adults. What do they like? And I think I know what each of you all like.
What we like?
Well, Kristen, you like WNUA 95.5, calm, serenity, spa, relax.
Little Sadie in your life.
And then Yelly, you like moving and shaking and action, but you also like your peace of mind. When you're ready to be quiet, you don't have to have a whole lot, but when it's time for action, you get the job done and you're ready to jump on Johnny in the spot. And everybody that is not doing it, you move them out the way and keep it moving. And then Nia, she demands her respect, whether you give it to her or not. She lets you know who she is, but the softer part of her will come back later and say, make sure you were okay and understood exactly why she was responding the way she was, or in her own way, she'll share, that you really do matter to her. And every night she sends us a scripture as a family, and she says to me, I love you and good night. And I know that may seem real weird for a 25-year-old, but it just means so much that she cares about the family in her way. And I think you have to respect people's personalities and respect your children in their way, what way they show love. It's not going to be the same as everybody. So that's me.
Oh, that was good. I don't even know if I have anything to add to that. Except whip your children when they get on.
Oh, wow,
I'm
Daddy.
just kidding. No, but I am kind of serious though, and I seen it. And this is just some advice, especially for the millennials who are having small children or going to have children. A lot of times we want to be easy and let them kind of develop in their own little special little ways, but it is our job to guide them, advise them, keep them in order, and not let them run ragged, because if you let them do whatever they want to do when they are small, 5, 6, 11, 10, you're going to probably have one of the worst teens ever. I've seen it, I've experienced it, and it's not intentional, not that they were just terrible teens, but you can see the regrets kind of like why would you talk to me like that? Well, you let them say that when they were 5 and 6 and thought it was cute. It's not cute when they're a teenager.
What's that scripture, Mom? I can't even remember.
Which one?
Train up a child.
And the way you should go, and when he's old, he won't depart from it. And that's interesting you would say that, because I was thinking about how even though your children may make mistakes, it doesn't mean that they are setting out to disappoint you as a parent or to say you're horrible. It doesn't reflect you, like Yeli said that earlier. But talk about the mistakes and then embrace them after those mistakes are made, so they won't waddle in the mistake. Because sometimes people live in a moment of shame and they never are able to recover from the shame. They keep doing the same thing repeatedly because there's never any reconciliation or forgiveness. And I think that is so important. And if your child is waddling in something, or your teenager, or even as a young adult, it's so important to seek out self-repair and counseling and therapy, because that will prevent you from moving forward in life in every area. And it will hinder your relationships, whether it be your marriage or your friendships or your family or your children. So it is important to make sure that you do some self-reflection and make sure you're not living and waddling in a place where you're of disappointment from yourself and your own failures.
Yeah, they say that the trauma, whenever you have trauma, that age that you had the trauma is the age that you stay in that emotional state. Like if you if you had trauma in relationships at 9, when you 30, you're gonna be reacting and reverting back to that 9-year-old trauma. So what would you about to say, Daddy?
You know, I was just going to kind of add, know your children. Just like we tell married couples and teach it to learn your spouse, but learn your children. They're all absolutely different. They all have different wants and needs, and know what each one is. Because you do the same or one thing for one doesn't mean you do the same for the other one, just because.
Yeah, because y'all do none of the same stuff that y'all do for us.
One thing that I was gonna say is, and I kind of said this on another episode, like, Daddy, when you described like our different personalities in the beginning, I think all our personalities kind of reflected what all the things we got in trouble for, like whether it's being experimenting, wherever it was being a smart mouth, whether
Excuse me.
it was Kristen, yeah, I'm talking about you, smart mouth. Do we need to tell the story about how you turned around and told Mama to shut up?
You talked about that in one of your episodes.
Thanks, Mom. I gotta point out that Kristen and Nia told you to.
They both did tell me to shut up.
They both.
But you told her behind her back.
Oh, I wanted to ask y'all something real quick.
Why you just move past that, yo? Zoom right past that.
Okay, well, I bet Kristen and Nia said a lot more things behind their back than me.
No.
Yes.
Straight to the face.
Y'all remember
That's
in
not
third
better.
grade, when I was in third grade and I called my teacher a DB?
Yes.
And my
UDB.
I did what? I said Miss Majeski is a DB.
Ugly.
I
DB.
said ugly? Mom, you just adding stuff to
No,
make
I'm
the story
not.
better.
You said that ugly
Did
word.
I? I
Yes.
never do remember that. Okay, well, I just want to know, Mommy, the moment that you...
What does DB stand for exactly?
Daddy, we saved, okay?
No.
I'll put it up here.
No, you won't.
Here and here.
No, you won't. I just want to know, like, in the behind the scenes, like, did y'all laugh at these things? Like,
Your daddy did.
Oh, I thought it was
When
hilarious.
Kristen drew the naked picture with her and Lily,
I laughed about a half an
he
hour.
laughed so hard. He laughed. He thinks it's hilarious. And I was just ashamed.
why are you ashamed?
I was embarrassed. My children out here drawing naked pictures and calling teachers ugly DBs. You know, I just was like, and y'all in the little grade.
I just remember, Mommy, I remember me having to call you at work, and then 3 seconds later, you were there.
And had you hemmed up in that bathroom.
You did, and I was trying not to cry because I saw feet under the stall. Do you remember that? I was trying not to cry. I was holding it in.
Mom, you were scared for our future?
You wasn't gonna have that kind of future, honey. You was not gonna
There's
be
nothing
that
wrong
person.
with drawing naked pictures.
What? Is that what you tell Case and Tula?
Why do you think I did so good in science?
I don't know. I don't think it was because of
Anatomy
the
and
naked
physics.
pictures.
I just wanted to know why you drew droopy boobs instead of perky ones.
That's the ones I saw.
What the hell kind of question is that?
See y'all?
I can't believe she said that. I'm ashamed of all of y'all.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, I remember Mommy made me write. Mom, what was that scripture you made me write?
I don't know. That was
You should know about heart, honey. You
honor thy mother and father.
No, it was
let the words of your
words
mouth.
of your heart,
Let
the
the words
meditation
of
of your
my
heart.
mouth,
be
the
Meditation.
meditation of my heart.
What is
third grade?
Let
Be
the words
acceptable.
in
Be
thy
acceptable
sight.
in thy sight.
Oh Lord, you're my strength and my redeemer.
Yes, she made
That's
me
right.
write that in a notebook. She was like, you need to fill out every back page and don't write big either. Every front and back page.
You should know about heart then.
I just said about heart.
Y'all love making us write lines.
That was
I don't
Auntie
remember
Marnell,
that.
y'all. She told me that.
I
Don't
don't
whoop
remember.
them. Make them write lines to their fingers.
We
hurt.
didn't really get that many whoopings though. We just think we all have like our, like I have about 3 whoopings that I remember.
Yeah, consecutively we were on punishment for about 10 years.
Yeah, punishment. That was our thing.
10 years.
But you-
of
Yeah, but
straight
what was your punishment? What couldn't you do?
Mommy used to take our phones.
We couldn't
and
go
then we used to
anywhere.
take it back out of her drawer because she would
Oh,
forget.
Yellow, you remember that time?
Like,
Did you take your flip phone?
No, that cell phone. How you was texting, thought you was texting, texting your friend, and
We
you was
talked
texting
about
me.
that on
we
Yes, we
did
did.
talk about
and
it.
it happened like 3 times. I went
Right.
back upstairs and
It's not
she
gonna
said
be
I
right.
can't go downstairs. She said I can't go downstairs, get on my nerves. And then you was like, oh, you texting
I'm
me
just
again.
surprised
fool.
you still had your phone. See, it was a little bit of leniency. 'Cause I would've
Like,
taken
what
my
kind of
ass.
idiot? Like, I was
Well, I always
I was
told
an
you
idiot.
that you all would get caught in everything.
And we
I always
did.
told
She
you
prayed that we would
that.
get
Well, my
caught.
mother prayed it too. So
and we did.
But you know why you didn't get a lot of whippings? Because you really were not bad children. Even as wild as your brother was, he was not disobedient. If you told him something, he obeyed. So there was not a whole lot of whippings and things like that. And then he didn't live with us either. So when he came for the summer, last thing you want to do is be that harp and
Right.
strict parent. We just want to have some fun for the summer while he's here. But you guys were not bad at all. I have no complaints. 0 complaints.
Y'all remember the
Very
Intrepid? Sorry, that ain't got nothing to do with that.
It was so big.
That's my favorite
we
car.
called it the Dodge Dalmatian because the paint started coming through.
Look
and
at
it
Daddy.
was
Mom, why
big
you?
blotches.
First of all, I was trying to talk positive.
Dodge
Talk.
Dalmatian.
There's not a single car that we mentioned that your mama doesn't say something.
Mommy talking about we used
Let's
to
talk
call
about-
them. You used to call.
Let's talk about the red van.
Oh
The
yeah.
Illumina, the Chevy
Didn't y'all
Illumina,
win that
It
or
had a
something?
smell.
No, we didn't. See what I'm saying? What else can we talk about here? Let's talk about
Me and Yelly
the
used to
expedition.
dig the carpet up in the back of the aluminum.
Yeah, we did. And remember, Daddy? Look at Daddy. We did.
What's wrong with y'all?
It was already shredding. We were
And I remember for a minute, y'all took the seats out and never put them back. And so we used to just be in the back like, hey, Father!
Oh!
Oh, and then we also, when we got gum on the seats that one time, Daddy was like, ain't no more gum for the rest of y'all life. We could never chew gum after that.
If we
I
chew,
was
we
still-
had to.
Did you? Did you? Did you?
Secretly?
Exactly.
I feel like,
I don't let my nieces and nephews chew gum in my house to this day.
to
Because of
this
y'all.
day. Oh, you know what? One other memory that I got that has stuck with me to this day is that when we went to restaurants, y'all wouldn't never let us order drinks. And so to this day, I'd be like, I'm 29. I can get a drink. I'll have an orange juice, please. I'll have an orange juice, please.
You know, now, Yelly, you had some difficulties when you were newborn, and I just knew pop was not the thing for you all to drink. And Kristen did too. So I was like,
Never
no, we're
drank
not
pop.
going to have pop in our house. And
No.
we just didn't. That was just, I didn't drink pop, so we
That's
were
the
not
same
having
thing
pop.
because I got me some cans of Coke.
Pop was like liquor in our house.
Exactly.
You cannot have none.
Pop is still like liquor to me. I'd be like, ooh, I forgot I got a can of Coke.
Right, you looking
I
around
don't
like, are they
Exactly. I don't even like pop like that, but it's like a treat. The only time we ever had pop was when we had a party and it was left
That's
over
very true.
and we was kicking and drinking
That's
some
very true.
great pop.
Great pop.
Oh, well, this has been really great. I'm glad we did this.
I got a quick closeout question, and then y'all can do some closeout words after that. But we're gonna do a quick game. So they got these games on TikTok where the kids close their eyes or the parents close their eyes. Who close their eyes? The kids.
The parents close. I don't remember,
They
girl.
just stand behind them.
Oh, and they stand behind them and they point to which child, but y'all just gonna have to say it because it's a podcast. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you who is more likely, and you can use any of your children. Okay.
Okay.
1 through 4.
Okay, who is more likely to become a millionaire?
Yelly.
Yelly.
Wow. Haters are gonna hate.
Mommy used to be saying that to me since I was little, since I can remember.
Who is more likely to become a preacher?
Yelly.
I was gonna say Yelly too.
Who is more likely to get into a fight?
Kristen.
Kristen.
What?
Sorry, I had to say Kristen too.
This is not your segment.
Kristen, you not that surprised.
Who will have the most kids?
Kristen.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One and done.
Joke's on you guys.
Oh yeah. Well,
That
maybe,
BC getting
well,
strong.
well, you're the one that's married right now, but Yelly.
Well,
But Yelly probably will
I
have
would say
5 boys.
I would
or
say
something
Nia.
like
Watch,
that.
y'all gonna be
5
surprised.
boys. Girl.
5 boys.
I know. Y'all think. Oh, I was about to say something.
Wrong.
Let me not say it.
Okay, moving on.
I'm moving on.
Okay.
Because I was having more 2 in my spirit. Okay.
Who is the most likely to take care of you when you're elderly?
Nia.
Bogus. I knew you was gonna say
I
that.
know y'all saw my hand raised.
Yeah.
Y'all don't care about us.
Are y'all
Y'all
serious?
don't care about
I
us.
didn't even think about
You think
Nia.
Nia gonna wipe your butt? That's gonna be Kristen wiping. That's gonna be Kristen wiping.
And it's going to be me hiring somebody.
Exactly. Yelly hire somebody. Kristen will wipe it while she cussing at us. What the?
And then Nia will make sure that we have what we need. She will.
All right.
She's very thoughtful.
I guess that was all right. Any closeout words do you have for us?
Well, my closeout word is that I am very proud of you all for Salt and Lit Podcast. I love that you create, I might say it wrong, create flavor and develop authenticity and bring Jesus to the light of the world.
Yes, okay.
Sharing that, but the truth is I am very proud because I believe it's just gonna explode, not because of just because of the topic or the different guests you have on, but because your heart really is for God, and that the favor of God is on Salt and Lit Podcast. And I know there's going to be many things that are going to come out of this podcast. And it's funny, it's fun, and it's light. And I appreciate you having us as your guest.
I agree. I think for those of you that are listening that actually know you, this is an everyday conversation that you guys have all the time. You just decided to stick a microphone and record it and let everybody else in on it. So it's very genuine, authentic, real. I'm sure y'all hold back something. I read some of y'all texts, so I'm sure y'all hold something back.
What? I'm confused.
You should be. But I'm proud of you. I'm a proud papa.
Okay, well now I'm gonna make us all say I love you to each other.
Okay.
Because we
I love you, Dad. I love you, Mama. I love
No,
you,
no,
Kristen.
try to speed past it.
No
Slowly.
speed talking.
You say I love you to Dad, and he says it back.
Oh, I love you, Dad.
I love you, yo.
I love you, Mom.
I love you, Yelly.
I love you, Kristen.
I love you,
I'm almost too hot for that now.
Yella. See, what is that? Why don't
I love you, Kristen.
I love you, Mom.
I love you, Chris.
I love you, Dad. I love you, Yelly.
I love you too.
I love you, Wes.
I love you.
Get up here.
Well, I know that was a big thing because that's not something we probably practice, and people put love you at the end of love you and I love you, and I always used to hear my friends say that, but it was a difficult thing for me because not because we weren't shown it, it was the actions, but it was not the words. That me growing up, it wasn't the words I love you. It was
used to say love you and hang up on us and didn't give us
You
a
like, love you
chance.
back.
It was almost like a shameful kind of like shy about it, and it wasn't intentional. It didn't come naturally.
Love you, bye. Love you,
Right. But I have learned to say it more. And Kristen, sometimes she was in college, like, Mom, slow down and say it. You don't have to say it. Love
I
you,
used
bye.
to tell you that too.
Yeah, y'all just didn't. But I appreciate that because parents can learn from their children and be honest about what you want. So thank y'all for being honest.
bye. Have you ever talked to your granddaddy on the phone?
Yes.
He's gonna say it about 6 times
I
before
know.
he gets
Yeah.
off. You have to answer
Oh,
back every
hello,
time.
I love you. How you doing?
Right.
Yes.
That's what y'all need to have on here.
Actually,
That's
we
the truth.
should. That would be hilarious.
Then they'll really find out where you get your wit and humor from.
Exactly. Granddaddy is a gem.
Well, thank you guys for coming on our most famous
Real
guest
quick.
yet.
You gotta say Suddenly Podcast. Go ahead, Mom.
I can't say it. My voice is too flat.
Oh, we didn't even talk about your flat voice when you're yelling. Nah. Go ahead, Mom.
Solid podcast. Solid.
All right, bye. See y'all next week.
Bye.